Hey everyone, my name is Rahul, and today we're going to be going over my beginner's guide to coding projects. And this video is going to be especially helpful for those of you who either haven't worked on a coding project before or are looking to up your game and work on a more complex project. If you're going for a coding related job, coding projects are essential to have on your resume because it shows that you're passionate about the field and that you're willing to put in the time to build your knowledge about technology. So that's why it's really important if you're looking for a coding related job that you get started on coding projects as soon as possible. But even if you're just looking to work on a fun project to learn a little bit about coding, that is also perfectly fine. This video will be there to help you. We're going to be answering questions today, like how do I come up with an idea for a project, what technology should I use in the project, and many more. If you don't have any programming experience coming into this, that is perfectly fine. I've gone ahead and linked a few free courses that teach you about programming fundamentals as well as a programming language down below in the description. I recommend you check those out and then follow the tips that I mentioned in the rest of this video, and you'll be on your way working on that first coding project. Without further ado, let's go straight into my beginner's guide to coding projects. The first thing you want to do is to identify your technologies. I recommend you keep it simple and start with things that you're familiar with. At most, maybe one or two new things that you're not familiar with already that will make the project a little challenging, but not go overboard such that you won't be able to complete the project. Remember, the goal is to make sure that you learn something at the end of the day. So as long as we're achieving that, everything will be fine. You also want to go ahead and figure out what the focus of this project is going to be. Is it going to be a web app? Is it going to be a mobile app? Is it going to be a game? Or maybe even a database project? This is the time for you to identify what that project is going to look like. Based on that information, we can now move in to the next point. The second thing we want to do is to come up with an idea. And I recommend we keep it simple. Just like how simple it is to hit that like button to support my channel and subscribe for more content relating to coding interview prep and to help you land that coding related job. But really, keep things as simple as possible, because if you try to reinvent the wheel and try to build something innovative, you're probably going to spend a ton of time coming up with an idea and getting nowhere. In fact, I've had this experience in the past where I was thinking about every project idea that I came up with and I was like, I feel like someone's done this before. What's the point of me doing it again? But later I realized that this project is meant for me to learn, not for me to build the most innovative thing I can think of. So you don't need to build a project that's going to be used by millions of users, or even 1,000, or even more than 10. You just need to build something that's going to enhance your knowledge, something that'll build your skills. Of course, it would be great if it's used by a ton of people, but that's not the metric that we're going to use to define our success on this project. Some examples of project ideas include A, personal website. Personal websites are a great way for you to learn web-related technologies and personalize that website to really be your own. B, working on a simple mobile app. Something like a calculator, which is actually my first project that I ever did, which is that I built a calculator app for Android. It looks like this. The interface was terrible. The project was not that great. But guess what? I learned a lot out of that first project. That's what set me up to build future, more complicated Android projects that looked a lot better and functioned a lot better. But you need to start somewhere, so that was a great start for me. C, you can work on a tutorial for a language, a technology, or a project and build on top of that to really make that your own. The third thing we want to do is to actually work on the project. Now that we've identified what technologies we're going to use, as well as what our idea is, it's important for us to now execute on that project idea. We need to find what motivates us to work on it at least multiple times a week, if not every day. The more project work that you get in, the better off you're going to be and the closer you're going to get to finishing up that project. If you ever get stuck at any point in the process with a technical related problem, that's perfectly fine. You should go ahead and look up the problem and you'll likely find a solution online. There are websites like Stack Overflow, which are designed for people to ask their questions out to the community, and then they can get responses from people to help them solve their problems. So if you're stuck on something, either look up your answer and see if it's present on one of these sites, or you can go ahead and ask your own question on a site like Stack Overflow, and hopefully you'll get a response that gets you unblocked. The fourth thing we want to do is to put up our project on GitHub. GitHub is a site for people to share the projects that they're working on, as well as collaborate on working on open source projects, which are projects that are accessible by anyone and can be contributed to by anyone in the world. GitHub splits up everything into repositories. Repository is just kind of a fancy name for a project. It's just a ton of files that contribute to that project, and all you have to do is create your own repository and upload your project to it. That will share that project then with the rest of the world. You can then choose to make that project either public or private. I recommend you make it public so that you can share it with everyone else. This is good for two main reasons. First, GitHub is really awesome because you can easily cross-reference your projects on your resume. All you have to do is include a link to your GitHub profile, and then a hiring manager, recruiter, or anyone who's looking at your resume can open that link and find out the projects that you've been working on. But the second thing is if you're working on a website, GitHub makes this really easy for you. All you have to do is upload your website files to your GitHub repository, set up with GitHub Pages. I've left the link below down in the description, as well as it's right here on screen. If you go there, it'll tell you how to get started with GitHub Pages. But effectively, all you have to do is upload your code to that repository, and they'll handle all the details about publishing that website. It'll be published at your username.github.io, published for the entire world to see and easy for you to share with anyone else. That's why I think it's really important for you to use GitHub, post your projects so that everyone can see them and so that you can easily share them. That was the beginner's guide to coding projects. If you like this video, please consider sharing it with a friend and drop a like down below. It's a free and easy way to support my channel. Consider subscribing for more content that's just like this, that talks about how you work on getting ready for coding interviews, as well as how you build that career in coding related jobs. I have linked my Medium article that corresponds to this video down below in the description. It's a text-based format of everything that I've covered here, so if you want to refer to that as well, check that out. It's linked below in the description. I've also linked my social media links, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me there. Great way to keep up with me and see what I'm working on. Anyways, until next time, see ya.